Hi, my name is Teresa, and you stopped by the channel Timeless Women. Why Timeless Women? Because we are timeless. We don't have a expiration date. Our sun is not setting, it is rising. Let's live while we can. This is the best time of our life. But I was just listening to a Toby Keith song, Don't Let the Old Man In. I don't know if you know who Toby Keith is. I'm not really a country listener kind of girl. I'm from Texas, but I still appreciate all types of music. But listening to Toby Keith saying "Don't Let the Old Man In," I remember watching him on the Country Music Awards. I was flicking through the channel, and this was about, I guess, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when he had stomach cancer. And so it was a really meaningful song, and you know, it's about not letting the old man in. So for right after that, he died. And then right after that, shortly after that, my business partner of 30 years, my best friend, I spent the most time with him that I did my family or anything like that. I saw him every day. We ate lunch 5 days a week, and I'm not going to get emotional. And he got esophageal cancer, and it reminded me of that song, "Don't Let the Old Man In." And it's the same for us women. Let's not let the old woman in. You know, I'm going to be 60 years old. A lot of people say I don't look 60. It's not even about how you look or anything like that. It's about, don't acknowledge being old. And I'm not saying being old doesn't have its privileges, because it does. But before we get to that point where we're now, until this point where we're going to be, and it's going to be a short distance, let's live. And, you know, I find myself, you know, like, the older you get, the faster you get older, right? And the days are going by faster and faster. And, you know, I'll get up and a couple hours later, it's time to go to bed. It just seems to be going faster and faster. I don't know about you, but and then I realize that there's another week gone and another month. And then I see things like, you only have 25 more Christmases or weekends until Christmas, or 10 more until this. It's true. It goes so fast. And I find myself, you know, like, I'll do my work during the day and things that I need to do. And usually on my to-do list, out of 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 10, I'll get like 8 done. And that's pretty good for me. And I'll go and I'll maybe watch a Netflix show, or I'll just kind of gaze through TikTok, you know, mindfully, just scrolling, doom scrolling. And it's not really getting me anywhere. And I realized that I need to start doing more with my life, like traveling more. But how can you travel if you can't really afford to travel? Because it's really expensive. And what can we do to get out and start living? Now, if you want to be around people, which, do not isolate yourself as you've gotten older, because isolation is worse for your mental health and for your aging and for your brain, your heart, your whole being, than probably cigarettes, alcohol, and everything. It really is. Isolation is not good. Of course, cigarettes and too much alcohol isn't either. But it's just, don't isolate yourself. So you could go do things like meetup.com and Time Left. I think it's called timeleft.com. You could go and they pair you with people, and you go and have dinners. You sit with like 5-7 people, and you eat dinner, and you get to know them, and it looks really, really neat. And like I said, meetup.com, you can do meetups. There are TikTok groups, there are travel groups on Facebook. You can Google it. There are all kinds of things that we can do to not isolate ourselves. And if you are lucky enough to have good friends, even better. I hate to say this, but all of my best friends have died in the last 5 years. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it's just crazy how life just goes fast, and the ones you love are gone, and just like that. And so I just thought, you know, I'm going to stop sitting here on the weekends. I mean, I do travel probably about 6 times a year, but that's just not enough. So there are ways you can travel that are cheaper, and that might be going out for a weekend, using coupon codes, getting point systems, reward systems. You could go for the day, maybe spend the night in a not so 5-star hotel. There's a lot of things that we can do. Again, travel groups, you can get with a travel agent to find things. There's just a lot of things that we should do. We should get out and do the things that make us find joy and happiness, because we don't know when it's our last day, or I hate to say this part, what could be brewing in our bodies. You know, they say what you fear is what will come of it. So you create what you fear. And so I'm always thinking, am I at the age where, because when you hit 60, they say you start having health problems, because you can have 99 problems, but if you have one health problem, that's your only problem. So I start to get concerned that I'm going to be 60 and that my health may decline. So I'm trying to do the things that I need to do so I can keep living. So I just want to come in here and just remind you that doesn't matter how old you are, don't let that old lady in. Don't acknowledge that you're an old person. My son jokes, he says, hey mom, you're gonna be 65 in January. No, I'm gonna be 60, son. And it's funny as it may be, it's that that's a big age gap, and I'm not gonna let the old person in. That day will come. I will keep not fighting it. I will acknowledge it, but I will keep living, and that's what we have to do. Again, this is Timeless Women, and the whole reason for this channel is that I want to encourage you and me to live life to its fullest, and not just say it, to live it, to do it, because this is a finite amount of time. And I just want to remind you how beautiful and how wonderful you are, and that you have so much time and life to live, and go do it before it's too late. Have a great day.